ASI, the company that I'm here representing today, is not my company. ASI is the foundation that supports the American slave culture. It belongs to descendants of American slaves. The black leaders who are running out here trying to make money off of reparation for slavery, they should voluntarily help those of us who are trying to help our people under ASI's direction. They need to come on over and start helping us instead of hurting us. There is no shame in the fact that descendants of American slaves who are leaders, there's no shame that we're ignorant. It's not our fault. We were bred to be ignorant. We can be forgiven for misleading our peoples from slavery up to this point. We just didn't know any better. But now that there is updated intelligence on the table, I don't believe God will forgive us for not accepting the intelligence that he is sending. The intelligence we receive here today will promote growth in the American slave culture. ASI's plan is profitable and it is idiot-proof. We can't lose if we follow the plan. All we have to do is start using our heads, because intelligence has no boundaries. So far, black leaders haven't been able to think correctly about this. You see, America is an economic society that is controlled by accurate paperwork, proper documentation, and positive identification. No one in an official capacity has summoned up the courage to properly identify American slaves publicly. That is why ASI is in Washington today. We're here to announce to the world, starting with America, that descendants of American slaves are not African Americans. I want to make that clear. Descendants of American slaves are not African Americans. All of this is explained in America's Little Black Book. And this book here has been dubbed the American Slave Bible. According to the King James Version of the Bible, it is time for American slaves to grow up. 1 Corinthians 13:11 reads, "When I was a child, I spake as a child, I felt as a child, I thought as a child. But now that I've become a man," meaning man and woman, "I put away childish things." That means it is time for the American slave culture to leave childish welfare lines and start thinking how to compete for America's wealth, just like other cultures do. There is no reason for our people to continue down this road of racial destruction, broke and begging, when ASI is showing us a better way to go. If the U.S. government won't help us, there are enough rich slaves in America to free our own people. It is my job to let these rich slaves know this is an obligation that they inherited. It's time for rich slaves to start doing their jobs instead of just enjoying the spoils. I have spent the past 50 years studying Dr. King's work, exploring slavery, figuring out the problems, and devising a plan that will erase America's original sin. The plan will deliver justice to American slaves. I call the plan the American Slaves, Inc. Renaissance Plan. I designed this here plan right here to medicate the suffering and the hurt that was done to the American slave culture. This plan here is an economic plan that will usher descendants of American slaves into mainstream America.